Welcome back, friends. I'm Chef Walter. This episode of News You Can Eat 24 will focus on the Italian legendary dessert named Tiramisu, or Lift Me Up. Before we go into the actual sweet, let's talk about the actual biscuit, the cookie. That's fundamental in the preparation. The name of the biscuit is Savoiardo. The word Savoiardo literally means from Savoy, a region of France that in times gone by included parts of the Italian region of Piedmont. The county of Savoy in time became a duchy. Later on, the Savoy acquired also the title of King of Sardinia. And finally, in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II became king of the newly united Italy. The Savoy family lost the Italian throne in 1946 when people voted to change the monarchy into a republic. The Savoiardo of interest in this context is a cookie, and as its name suggests, one related to the noble family of Savoy. The story says that in the mid-14th century, the pastry chef of Amedeo VI, also known as the Green Count, created a feathery, finger-shaped cookie for a dinner to entertain the King of France. The cookie was a big success and continued its life grace with the blessing of the noble family under whose roof it was created. Savoiardi, as usual, the plural form is much more used than the singular, can be eaten as they are, but in practice they are more useful as ingredients for dessert, thanks to their delicate flavor, lightness, and sponginess. Tiramisu, zuppa inglese, which actually is not a soup. It's an English form of a trifle with cream and these lady fingers, and the classic Charlotte Russe, and many, many more examples are available where the Savoiardi or lady fingers are utilized. And that is the first product. The second product in question here is the actual mascarpone cheese. So mascarpone cheese is an Italian cream cheese which is produced in the region of Lombardy, and it's obtained by curdling the milk with citric acid or acetic acid. There is a thick, doubled or triple in cream, soft in consistency with a 65 to 75% of butterfat content. Many use cream cheese instead of mascarpone because they may not be available to them or simply for cost practice. The biggest difference between mascarpone and cream cheese, it's actually in the amount of milk fat each contain and where they originated. Since mascarpone has a higher fat content than the American cream cheese, mascarpone is much richer, creamier, and as far as quality, they are incomparable. Tiramisu, as you know, is one of the most widely known desserts, certainly in Italy and throughout the world, and the origin can be mainly traced to the region of Veneto and Friuli Venezia Giulia in northern East Italy. The base of the dessert can be made of different types of biscuit or sponge cake, depending on your preference and recipe. Other standard ingredients include, of course, the espresso, then the sugar, cocoa, and eggs, and the mascarpone, of course. Characterized by its unique tenderness and softness, tiramisu is made with Savoiardi or ladyfinger is certainly one of the most appreciated variations. In addition to the yeast, the natural citrus aroma, ladyfingers are prepared namely with eggs, flour, and sugar. They're very simple, really. The egg mixture is beaten until it's stiff, therefore giving it a full consistency, which helps the biscuit rise and makes them light and crumbly. And once they are baked, they are delicious. Ladyfingers are perfectly suited for dunking. You can use them in any application, even in liquor if you like. A little bit of a coffee liqueur dunked in, they are wonderful. What I do, when I do make my tiramisu, I actually get the ladyfinger and I soak them in the espresso, but the espresso has to be cold. And I only soak them on one side. Then I place them in whatever container you're using and allow the gravity to do the rest. And of course, the coffee goes down. And of course, you can use anything that you like. Some advice for a typical tiramisu. I'm sure most of you have made one. I always suggest, as I said, use unsweetened espresso. Use unsweetened cocoa powder because that's very important. What you don't want is a tiramisu that's overly sweet. And at the end, you display them in whatever container you like, preferably glass, porcelain, or chinaware. Please don't use metal because the coffee and the mascarpone actually counteract any metal. The dessert, really, the success of the dessert relies on 3 major steps. I'm going to give them to you. It's called the 3 fives. And if you apply the 3 fives, you will never fail. So it is 5 eggs, 5 tablespoons of sugar, and 500 grams of mascarpone, which is pretty much a pound. Not to obtain a mascarpone that's overly sweet, as I said, I recommend the cocoa, which has to be unsweetened, and you can garnish the dessert accordingly at the very end. Okay? So that should not be too complicated. If you want a recipe, you can follow us on our blog. That is all for this episode. Subscribe to this YouTube channel on the Chef Walter's Cooking School, and follow our podcast, Flavors and Knowledge, which is available in every single platform. If you like a recipe for the good tiramisu with the 3 fives, as I said, chefwalterfinefoods.com/blog. Mascarpone is there waiting for you. We'll chat next time. Ciao.